So I'm going to be teaching you what I believe is the number one question that I have discovered so far out of all the questions that I know that really get people to open up and talk about you. Before I get into the video, I do want to say that I can teach you all the social skills in the world, how to talk to people, how to have more confidence. But when you meet people, there's two kinds of people you're going to meet. Number one are the people we're looking for. These are people that when you ask them a question like the ones that I'm going to be telling you that are very open-ended, they require a thorough response. When you ask them these questions, they're going to give you an answer and they're going to explain it in a way that gives you a lot to work with. That's what we're looking for. People that are willing to answer the questions you ask them. There's going to be the second kind of person. These people will either take offense to you asking them personal questions like this, and if they take offense to you trying to get to know them, that is not somebody you want to talk to. And then there's going to be people that either just they don't want to talk to you, they don't like you, or maybe they literally don't know how to have conversational skills. And that's why I have this YouTube channel, to try and help people like you. So we are going to be talking about the question, what's it like? And I've got 3 different examples here because I believe this is called either a sentence structure or a language pattern. And this is like neuro-linguistic programming, where all these questions are coming from, just deep questions. I'm asking people questions because I am looking for them to go inside of their subconscious and pull out like an experience that they can talk about. Humans are very selfish. People love talking about themselves. These questions get the person to talk about themselves. And if someone can tell that you care enough to ask about them, they're going to like you more. And that's why I'm filming videos teaching you guys this. So before we get into the video, if you like what you see, please give the video a like. Thumbs up, you're gonna help promote it in the algorithm. That way it can help more people. I'd really appreciate that. Okay, so what's it like? That is the question. What's it like when, ... I should say that. What's it like when? So the first one, because I've got several examples here. So the first one is like this. If you're talking to somebody, and let's say you get on the topic of like traveling, like you guys were talking about like different states, or maybe going on a cruise, or seeing snow, something, you're just talking about traveling. You could say, hey, let me ask you a question. Since we're on the topic of traveling, what's it like when you're planning a vacation knowing you're going to have 0 responsibilities the whole time? So you could say, hey, if you're planning a vacation and you're getting to go, and you know that when you go, you're going to have absolutely no responsibilities, like not a single care in the world, what's that like? You would say it like that. So with this sentence, you can say, what's it like when at the very beginning, or you can say, what's that like at the very end? That might be an easier way with a lot of these, but you're just, what's it like is you're asking somebody to explain what that, so in this case, what would it be like planning a vacation, getting to go, and you have no responsibilities? You have all this freedom, you can do whatever you want, and you're not going to have to worry about anything. What would that be like? What's that like? That's the point, because now they're going to have to think about that. Yeah, what is that like? Oh my God, you know what? I think that actually would be like blah, 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 blah. That's the first one. The second one would be like, what's it like when you spend time with your significant other and you both have the time of your life? So, hey, you said you're married, you and your husband have been together for a while now. Let me ask you this question. I think you'll really enjoy answering it. When you and your husband, like you guys go to like a concert, or you guys book a trip to go somewhere you both have never been, and when you guys are there, you both are just having so much fun, like you feel like you never want to leave. What's that like? What's that like to you? And then she, in this case, I was talking to a woman, she's going to have to explain what it's like when her and her husband go and do something that's that's exciting, that makes them both feel good. What's it like? Now she's going to have to explain. Now, depending on the question that you ask, you might not get a thorough answer. You might have to get them, like if they give you like, it would feel great. Well, I don't really understand what you mean by that. What do you mean by it would feel great? Can you explain that to me? So there are times where you're going to have to be like, well, I want to understand you. Can you try to explain that to me just so I can understand like what you mean by it would be great? So there are times where you would have to do that, okay? But in that case, that would be a way to ask them, hey, what is it like when you're doing something with your partner and you both are just having the fucking time of your life, dude? What's that like? And then the last one is going to be what's it like when you're doing something and when you're doing it, you completely lose track of time. And again, if we reword that, hey, when you're doing something and hey, when you're doing something you really enjoy doing, and when you're doing that thing, you feel like you've just completely lost track of time because you're just having so much fun. What's that like? You can ask that, or a better way would be like, hey, what do you could say, hey, when you're doing something, hey, when you're doing something you enjoy, and when you're doing it, you completely lose track of time. What do you find yourself doing? I mean, you would say, or say, you could say this. If I try to reword this to go back to this question, hey, what do you enjoy doing that when you do it, you completely lose track of time? You would say that. Okay, that would be a better way. What do you, hey, when you do something and when you do it, you completely lose track of time. They're going to have to think and answer. So, oh, I like doing X, Y, Z. Dude, that sounds amazing. What's that like when you're doing it? That's when you could ask that. So, what's it like what's it like is it's basically just getting a person to explain their answer to you. That's why I also added it like at the very end, because you can ask the question that you want to ask, but then when you add that word, what's it like, you're having them explain that answer to you in a very open-ended way. So this is why I said at the beginning of the video, there's going to be two kinds of people that'll be like really elaborate, and that's what we're looking for. And then people that might not be, like, they might be a little closed off at first. And that's when you would have to ask like something like, well, can you explain that to me? I'm trying to understand you. Okay, guys. So these questions, the what's it like when question, these will get, what did I say right here? This is the number one question to get anybody to open up, because you're going to have them explain to you like a feeling or an experience, and that is something that they can only experience on like a personal, intimate level. And that's why this builds connection, because you're showing the person that you care enough to try to get to know about them, their likes, their hobbies, their experiences, their feelings. Okay, guys, so if you like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. And hey guys, I will see you in the next one.